Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Rafael and I am here to review episode 4 of Drag Race España. And this week's episode is the Snatch Game episode. But before that, all the queens come back in after seeing NT's self-elimination, and all the queens are shocked and they thought that they were just coming backstage to get ready for the lip sync because they assumed that they were going to be in the bottom 2. But when they found out that they were self-eliminating themselves, they were all gagged, and that was one less queen, and Dovima feels as if she was robbed of potentially a lip sync and that this was just a freebie. If I was you, Dovima, I would be happy because you're not the best lip syncer from what we saw so far. So if I was you, just go with that. Go with that. Sagittaria is feeling herself and she feels as if she might win again another challenge or at least be safe. And Carmen warns her in the confessional, says, I'm not sure if you should be so confident about it. I mean, I was at the top before and then I was almost at the bottom. So if I was you, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. And the queens come back into the workroom the next day and then Supreme comes and announces that they are going to have the first ever reading challenge. So the library is open. And Arantxa explains that this mini challenge is just throwing light shade, a shady joke at your competitors, but it has to be funny, like light-hearted shade, not something crazy and personal as if, oh, I hope your mom gets hit by a car, or I hope your dad falls off a building and breaks his leg. Nothing crazy like that. It's just supposed to be something subtle. So the queens begin to roast each other, and my personal favorite were Killer Queen and Poopy Poison. And Hugasio had one small dig at Sagittaria saying, Aquaria. No, Sagittaria. That was the only joke that they landed, and oh, Sagittaria Hugasio's, when they went up, it was so uncomfortable to watch. I hate when they do this challenge and they bomb it and then it's super awkward and nobody's laughing and all you hear is just the crickets. I can only imagine how that is in person and how uncomfortable that must feel. But the queens were extremely hilarious, especially picking on Dovima's slow motion, which I never noticed that they walk in slow motion. I never noticed how they do everything in slow motion, but now that I think about it, yeah, when they get to the runway and they get to the very end of it, it takes about 4 hours and then 5 hours to come back and then go backstage again. So I can definitely see how they keep poking fun of that. And then the running joke was that Poopy Poison was old, and then Poopy Poison made a joke at themselves saying, oh yes, I may be older, but I still have these robotic parts. So I think that the first rating challenge was great. They also kept picking at Carmen Farala's face. Does Carmen have a lot of surgery or something? Am I missing something with that? Because I thought she was just a natural beauty. She doesn't look like she has surgery. I mean, maybe lip fillers, maybe, but other than that, does she have more stuff work on her face or her body, or am I missing the joke? Killer Queen also called Arantxa Hannah Montana, but Hannah La Marana. I was dying laughing at these jokes that the queens had. They had really good content. Again, except for Hugasio and Sagittaria, which both of them made me cringe. So then Supreme announces that Poopy Poison is the winner of the mini challenge, and this is Poopy Poison's second mini challenge win, and she wants to get a main challenge win. She's this close to getting a maxi challenge win, but she always comes up short. So she announces that she gets a pair of underwear and a pair of Speedos, and then that it's Snatch Game episode. And they're gonna have to perform their character in front of Samantha Hudson and Kika Lores, which I searched them up, and they're also drag artists, which I thought their aesthetic was cool. And as all the queens are getting ready and preparing their characters and sharing with one of each other, and Dovima finds out that Killer Queen also wants to do the same Snatch Game character as they do, which is the Duchess of Alba, Cayetana. And then Dovima goes over there to confront Killer Queen and says, are you gonna also do the same character? Because I'm doing the Duchess, so we both can't do the same thing. And then Dovima just has this entitled attitude saying, well, I'm gonna do this. I didn't bring anything, so fuck off and I'm gonna do whatever I want. Bye. And Killer Queen says, oh, I have a bad attitude and a bad temper as well. And if I let it get loose, this whole stage and production is gonna blow up and it's gonna be destroyed. If I was her, I would have just flipped the whole damn table. We could fight. Don't come into my space and threaten me saying, oh, well, I'm doing the Duchess and you're not allowed to. It's almost as if Trinity versus Gia Gunn from US Drag Race All-Stars saying, oh, that's not necessarily what you're gonna do, even though that's what you wanna do. I would have grabbed Dovima by her bald head and grabbed her back like, what you said? Yeah, I'm gonna do the Duchess, okay? And then pushed her. But it's a competition, so I guess there's no rules, right? You gotta do what you gotta do to win. But Killer Queen's other option ended up being in her favor anyways, so the joke's on you, Dovima, because of this, it ended up being her win. And it was hilarious how it was so much tension in the scene and then the dramatic music. And then you just see Poopy Poison over there. Her hair is all crazy. And she's like, well, I'm gonna be the Duchess too. Poopy Poison is just such a hilarious ass queen. Finally, it's Snatch Game, and all the queens are set up in their podium, and I'm gonna read off the characters one by one. So Arancha played Belen Esteban, which I thought that her character should have been amplified a little bit more from the videos that I've seen of who this woman is, because I did my research on these characters because I wasn't really sure of who was who besides the Mona Lisa. I think that her character should have been amplified just a little bit more. Obviously, this woman is known for her sass and her attitude, and Arancha kind of just played it safe and was just, yeah, I'm just blind, I'm just sitting here. I see that you were trying to look like her, but you had no type of personality similar to Belen's, which is a very out there type of personality. But Arancha was just in the background and not really saying much or really interacting much as if this character would be on a regular basis if paparazzi was to catch her off guard. The next one was Carmen Farala. She played Dakota. So Dakota, I saw videos of who she is, and oh my, her behavior and and her rants are extreme. And Carmen was none of that. I mean, she had little bits of moments of it, but nothing to the extreme. Also, like Arancha, I think that Carmen should have played this character to the extreme. I think she should have been yelling 24/7 like, no, yes. I think she should have been screaming. She should have been screaming at the other contestants as well while she had the opportunity, but she just kind of was just, yeah, I'm here. I thought she was supposed to be a drunk woman for a second, but yeah, she was supposed to be a more enraged, angry type of woman, and she didn't really do that. She kind of just flatlined. She had the look, sort of, especially with the known ponytail look, but other than that, it wasn't nothing of the same character. And then Dovima Numri was supposed to be the Duchess, Cayetana. I think she had the look well done. I think her face could have been more cat lady-like, but for the most part, Dovima was okay. She had her moments and she was funny. She even started it off with her sleeping just... and I thought that was hilarious. And she did well. I'm surprised too because Dovima just plays it safe with just having a attitude the entire season so far, but she actually showed us a different side, a comedic side. It wasn't so hilarious, but it was funny enough to save her for next week. And then we got Hugasio, which they played Gioconda, which I never knew that the Mona Lisa had a different name. All this time, I mean, I never knew that the Mona Lisa had an alternative name. So this was news to me. I'm like, Gioconda? And then when I was looking at the look, I was like, oh, wait, they're supposed to be the Mona Lisa. And this was flatline. I mean, they even said it in the confessional, said, oh, I'm supposed to be a look. I'm not here for jokes. And I'm like, well, what you thought this was? This isn't Snatch Game of looks. This is the Snatch Game of personality and jokes. So Hugasio, I don't know. This was not looking good. I'm thinking, oh my, Hugasio is going to be eliminated because they gave them that edit that you did bad in the mini challenge, you did bad in the maxi challenge, and then you got your sob story with your brother, and now what do you have left? So it's just like, oh my, you're going to be put in the bottom two or you're going home. And luckily, they were saved. But yeah, they were just there in the background. I mean, the look was there. I mean, what could you have done with Mona Lisa? Why did you even choose the character? And Hugasio did not do anything at all. I mean, they played Mona Lisa for the most part. They just stood there the entire time like the painting, and that's all they did. Then Killer Queen did Isabel Diaz Ayuso, which is a politician in Spain. And I love this entire performance. I thought Killer Queen was hilarious. And I'm glad that she showed all of this comedy side to her because obviously the judges last week, I believe, they said that you don't really have a personality. We're really not seeing it from you. And I'm not sure what other personality you can get out of this because Killer Queen, even though she was playing a different character than who she is outside of drag, it was still a part of who Killer Queen was. And it was so good. I love that little joke about the bilingual and yes, I'm going to take you back home and I'll show you with my lengua. I thought it was so funny. She was such a wild character and she reminded me of those crazy politicians who go off the board when somebody doesn't agree with them or they're trying to say some bullshit to the people. And then Poopy Poison did someone named Karina. I tried to search things up for who this person was and I couldn't really find anything because maybe they had more to their name or a last name, but I could not find it. But from what Poopy Poison showed, I thought it was okay. I thought it was funny. The voice was borderline annoying. Just, hi, hola, yes, hola, oh my God. It sounded like Dora the Explorer for a second. So I thought Poopy was okay. The wig was raggedy as hell. So I thought that was cute. Sagittaria is another one who shocked me because they played Encarnita, which I did not recognize. Who the hell was that at the end of the table? I'm like, who is that? And I just kept looking closer and closer. I'm like, okay, Carmen's here, Domina's here. Who the fuck is that? And I'm like, oh, it's Sagataria. So it was crazy to me how Sagataria could look so beautiful on the runway. And then for these challenges, she could make herself look like a completely different person. She looked like the woman from The Exorcist, just looking crazy with that candle next to her. And I thought she did well as well. She made me laugh, she made me chuckle. But the one that stood out and did terrible were Arancha and Hugasio. It just was not their week. But for the most part, the Snatch game was funny. And Samantha and Kika were also a nice addition to the show, and it was nice to almost see them as two different competitors on the show. They should have told them, like, go ahead, we're adding two new queens to the competition. Just go and we'll bring you your bags and stuff, and you could compete too on Drag Race España. I thought that would have been cool. And then we get all the queens back into the workroom, and Hugasio is a little bit worried because they know that they did not do good for their Snatch game, and that they wish that they would have gone with their second option, which was Sandro Ray. And I think that that would have been a better option because, I mean, anything would have been a better option, to be honest, because the Mona Lisa was just not good for you. You were literally just a painting on the wall, and you weren't really doing nothing besides making faces. And I just felt so terrible because I feel like we could have seen a different side of Hugasio, but it was unfortunate. And then they get into a story about their brother and how close they are, and then they bring out a letter that the brother typed up for them. And it was such a sweet letter as all the queens gathered around. Except Dovima. The gag of the whole scene was that Hugasio was telling the other queens about the letter, right? And then the camera pans out and all you see Dovima. All you see Dovima in front of the mirror just rolling her eyes at the whole thing. Ugh, esta perra y su puto hermano. ¿Por qué está hablando de eso ahorita? Ugh. God, do I look beautiful? I thought that scene was so well done. I mean, you're having a big moment here, and then Dovima just rolls her eyes like, I cannot be bothered. I do not like anything about family. I do not have emotions. I'm a cold-hearted bitch. It was just, damn, bitch, like, who hurt you? What kind of childhood you had? I kind of wish we get a more backstory of Dovima's life because I feel like they have a very cold presence to them. It's almost emotionless. And I know you have a tough exterior, but why do you have that tough exterior? What have you experienced in life to make you have such high walls that nobody could break? And then they get into the conversation also of how the second coming out to your parents is also explaining to them that you do drags, and then they have a bunch of questions of why do you wear wigs? Why do you wear high heels? Why do you do this? And Killer Queen, of course, with the sweet message, we're just entertainers, we're just artists, and we just want to express ourselves. So please be nice. And I think we all can agree with that. That was so sweet. And then it's finally runway time, and Supreme comes out, and to be honest, this wasn't my favorite look of hers. I mean, it was cute. I love the wig. I love the white wig on her, but the look was just a little bit messy for me. It was just too much. I hate when there's two different styles to an outfit and feathers and then the jacket. But it's her thing, so she walks down the runway and she announces that we're gonna have a ball, Drag Race España's first ever ball, which means each queen has to represent 3 different categories and looks on the runway. And then she announces the judges, and something I find so hilarious also is that her flirting with the judges is almost as if she's throwing herself at the Javis. Like, yes, papi. ¿Quieres uno número 2 o número 3? Yo quiero 3 contigo, papi. Contigo también. Oh, Anna, you want to join too? Venga, vamos a ser 4. I just find this so cute the way they go back and forth with each other with these flirtatious jokes. Just kiss each other already. So the first category on the category of 3 is Chonky del Barrio, which is a trashy girl look. And Carmen comes out in this pink look, and I wasn't really a fan of it, especially compared to all the other looks that come after her. I thought it was safe. She was definitely not bad. She looked good, but she could have done a little bit more. I think this whole episode, the thing that we could learn is that Carmen could have done a bit more. I think she rested on everything that she did at the beginning of the season, and then now it's kind of like, okay, we're cutting the wire here, and you need to continue standing out and continue bringing that fire. But this look was safe. Again, it wasn't bad. It was just there. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't the worst either. I mean, none of them were, to be honest, but this look was okay. And then Sagataria comes out, and I want to say that this is a simple look as well, but Something about her, she just radiates beauty, and I feel like she gets away with that. But I did like the look. She just really sold us the look with her walk and those stripper shoes that she had again from episode 1. I like the look. I thought it was a safe look. Even if the category is trash, she still makes herself look beautiful. The next look was Killer Queen. Y esto no era mi favorito tampoco. No era... It wasn't big enough for me. I mean, it was okay. I think the judges were living for it, and I just rewatched it a couple of times, and I'm like, do I like it? But I don't know. It wasn't doing anything for me. It was pretty simple. It was okay. Again, it wasn't bad, but it was just all right. I think she really did sell it to us, though, again, because her behavior and her attitude and the way she kept squatting down and everything. The character of somebody del barrio really came out in her runway. I think with that is how she sold the outfit. So Killer Queen, it was okay. And Arancha comes out, and I know this may be shocking because I have not been a fan of her runways the past couple episodes, but I actually like this look. I don't know what it was about it, but I did. I'm not sure if it was because of the thong or because she looked like Baby Spice from the Spice Girls, but something about it I really liked. I don't know. What do y'all think? Did y'all like this look? Is it just me? But her wigs were raggedy though. The wig looked like it came straight out of a dumpster. I'm like, damn, bitch, put some shampoo, put some spray in it, do something. Put some honey in it, something. But I thought the look was cute. And then Dovima comes out straight out of the early 2000s, and I thought she looked so good. She did remind me of a very nostalgic hairdresser from the early 2000s. I love that hair on her. I think she should stick with that more because it shows her face a little bit better, and her makeup was so good too, and the way she was just walking. She sped up this time. She walked a little faster. They probably told her in the back, like, bitch, we got 3 balls. You need to hurry up because we're not doing all this. You taking 3 hours to walk the runway. You need to hurry the hell up this time, okay? And Hugasio comes out, and this is another interesting side of them that we didn't get to see. Because usually when they come out on the runway, it's usually so much to look at. It's a piece of art on the runway. And this time, I mean, it was still good, but it was so nice to see them kind of tone it down a bit so we can see it a little bit more. Even though it was good, they actually look like Amy Winehouse, and I love this entire look on Hugasio, especially with the phone and the walking and the flipping of the hair and the piercing. This was a completely different look that we haven't seen from Hugasio so far, and I'm glad that they managed to actually do this without making it into something very artistic. And then Poopy Poison comes out, and yikes, I expected something like this to be on Arancha, to be honest with you, because this look wasn't cute. This look wasn't good. I did like the message that they had on the thing that they had wrapped around them, but the look was terrible. I mean, the wig was cute, and I like that the boob popped out, but other than that, it was very basic of the basics. It was just a small little black outfit with something wrapped around them, but your hair was cute. And then the second category on the runway is aggressive executive. So Carmen comes out first again, and this look was definitely a step up from her trashy look. She looks so good, from the red lip to the jewelry to her outfit going right above her thighs and those black heels and the long slick ponytail. I thought she looked so good. She looked like an expensive woman. She's definitely somebody I would do my taxes with. She looked very, very great. And I love the little initials on her briefcase that says CF. I thought it was so good, and you know she was on the phone with Kim Kardashian like, yeah girl, we're gonna go get our ass done right now. Are you ready? We got 2 minutes. I'm gonna be at your place now. You better hurry up, bitch. And Sagittaria comes out, and she looks like sex on heels. She looks so good. It's just something about her that she just oozes beauty and just everything. She was walking on the runway like she knew she was the shit, and she knows she's the shit. And that hair ponytail thing that she had going on, Ariana Grande could never. And then when she did the reveal and she took the little jacket off and her bare ass was showing, I thought that was a really good look. I did not expect that coming. I'm like, wait. I thought she really sold it to us like, yes, I'm too important. I'm gonna go film The Devil Has Prada 2 right now, okay? She's definitely somebody that will fire you from the company for looking at her wrong. And then Killer Queen comes, and something I liked with her look was that it was part 1, part 2, and part 3. And she kept going on with the same character, starting with the trashy look. And then now the trashy look got a glow up, and now she has a promotion and she has a job, and she's not working the streets no more. And she works in the office, but she's still drunk. And she was walking around just stumbling, and that's what made me like the look a little bit more. And it made sense. And Arancha comes out next, and she was giving me more schoolgirl type of look instead of executive. She's kind of like an apprentice or an intern instead of a executive, especially an aggressive one, because she just came out and besides the puppy, I mean, what else did she really have to offer on the runway? The wig was so dry. I mean, extremely dry. Like, you really need to spray something in it because it's so obvious looking at it, and then that takes away from the look. Or was it just me? I was just looking at the wig the entire time and that creepy ass dog. But the look was okay. I like the shoes, but it was all right. And Dovima comes out from the neck up is what I was really impressed with, because I can definitely see this in a horror movie, and it was giving me very much something that you could see in an early 2000s type of movie where, yes, I'm your naughty teacher, but I'm gonna eat your fucking dick with these teeth. And when she opened her mouth, it was so creepy and nasty to look at, but so beautiful at the same time. It's definitely somebody that could seduce you and then bite you in the neck and suck all your blood and money out. And then Hugasio comes out, and I love that their interpretation of the look was a business shark, because that was such a smart play on it, because they literally look like a shark in fashion form, and especially with the little chomp on the briefcase. I think that blue looks really, really good on Hugasio. I really like that color on them. And the whole look, I was sold by it. Especially how Hugasio's hair was shaped like a fin. I love the entire look. I think all they needed was Dovima's teeth, and then they could have really secured the whole shark look. Poopy Poison comes out, and even though she's one of my favorite, I wasn't a fan of this look either, because I don't think it accomplished what the category was. I think that they were trying to do what Hugasio did and have their own interpretation of what the category was, but it wasn't executed the right way. I mean, she looked pretty, but other than that, the look was just something completely different from what the runway category wanted. So Poopy, this was not it. And the third and final runway look is Marabella Jet Setter, and Carmen comes out first, and she looks like a Barbie doll. I mean, a Barbie doll that tan too much, but Barbie doll nonetheless. And Carmen looks so great. This definitely made up for that first look, because I definitely think that Carmen's second look was beautiful. This look was beautiful as well. I love her whole interpretation of it. You can literally put her in a box and sell her at her store, and I will probably buy it. That pink latex look was such a good look, and I think pink is definitely one of her colors. It definitely amplifies her beauty. And then Sagittaria comes out, and this look was pretty simple. It was pretty safe compared to what she's brought. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just pretty safe. I love the makeup and I love the hair. She looked so good as always, but the look was just pretty simple compared to what I saw with Carmen first. And Killer Queen comes out, and I did enjoy the makeup look. I love the character, and of course this is part 3 of her trilogy of characters from the first look of the trash look. So I did enjoy the whole glow up of the character, and then she came right back down to being trashy and drunk on the beach this time though. And I thought the look was good. I thought it was all right. I definitely enjoyed, again, the story behind it and the character development. And I think that Killer Queen's personality and character really outshined this episode, especially on the Snatch Game and especially on the runway. So Killer Queen, kudos to you. And Arantxa comes out looking like a pillowcase, and I wish that the outfit would have suited their body a little bit better, because I thought it was too baggy or too big for them. The look definitely wasn't bad. I just wish it was a little bit fitted. I love that the burned look to them and the way they were walking as if it hurts. I love that they sold it to us like that. The wig was okay. I could kind of see a little bit of their hair underneath though, or was it just me? Or maybe it was just the camera work or the colors, but the look was all right. I mean, compared to their other 2 looks, kind of like flatlined the entire time, and this one wasn't really doing anything justice. It was pretty okay. And Dovima comes out in this 80s prom look, and I just love that she actually had looks from the early 2000s, the early 80s. I love those references because anybody has seen this character in any movie. That rich woman that's just always walking around with curls in her hair and the typical dress that's up to here and just always drunk and, yes, darling, I'm fabulous. And Dovima really played that character on the runway. I wish that we get to see more of these characters and this persona in the workroom, because Dovima is more cold and to themselves in the workroom as opposed to on the runway. They're more out there with themselves. And Hugasio comes out, and they look so beautiful. I love this entire look. I just really enjoyed seeing something completely different, like I said, with Hugasio's look. I know we've seen all their looks on the runway so far, these last couple episodes, that it's been very artistic and very something to look at very closely. But I love the simplicity in their looks this week around. Yes, I know they'll probably go back to their usual aesthetic, but I do love seeing Hugasio play a different character on the runway. And this was no better. This was really, really good. I love the, the burnt tan line. The yellow was beautiful color on them. And maybe blue and yellow is your color, Hugasio. I think you should wear both more often. Or maybe any color is your color, to be honest. You look good in anything. This was definitely one of my favorite looks from the runway this week. And then Poopy Poison comes out in this turban and this caftan and these glasses. And then they turn around and do a reveal and they become this character called Rapala, which I'm not really sure who that is, but I'm guessing it's a psychic. I tried to do my research on who they are, but I couldn't find anything. Maybe I misspelled the name or something, but the judges seem to live for it. But the look was good, and I'm pretty sure if I look up the right reference, they probably did well with it. So I thought the look was good, and it definitely represented what I would see on a beach. So then the judging and the critique comes, and I forgot to mention that Bad Guile is also a judge on this show. And she's so beautiful, she's so pretty, and fun fact, she's wearing the same exact dress that Gottmik wore to the US MTV Awards this past month. And they all go down one by one, and surprisingly, I agree with their decisions on these judgments this week because they tell Arantxa, yeah, you could have overplayed your character a little bit more. You have the look kind of, but you kind of were just safe. And Arantxa says that, oh, I was just in my head this week. I wasn't really there. I just keep telling myself I don't belong here and I'm not good enough. Arantxa does have talent and is such a fun queen, but you know, it's just certain things that they're lacking that I'm sure that over time that they could improve. And I'm glad that they finally gave Killer Queen her flowers and said, oh, we loved your personality on the runway. We love your look. We love everything about you, because last week it wasn't looking too good for Killer Queen. Same thing for Dovima. I'm really also happy for her because they said, we love that you gave characters on the runway this time. As opposed to all her other runways, she comes out usually like a corpse and just walks around like a zombie. Yeah. Hi. Hey, Supreme. And Bad Guy also makes a good judgment on Poopy Poison that I also agree that Poopy Poison makes it look so easy, as if, yeah, I'm just here to have fun and I'm not really taking this competition to the head, to the extreme. I mean, I'm not stressing myself. I'm not overdoing anything. She's kind of just there to have fun. I think that that's why her personality outshines in these situations, because she's just really cool with everything. She's not really thinking too much into everything, and she's just there for a good time. And one thing I found so comical was that Supreme said, once I call your name to the front, you're gonna be safe. Dovima, you're safe. She said only one of you is safe. The rest of you bitches are in danger. And then the queens go backstage to join Dovima and Untucked, and Dovima's just sitting there by themselves like la 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 la. And all the queens finally gather and they're discussing that who's gonna win. And they all think that Poopy Poison's gonna win. And I'm like, yikes, they're about to rob Poopy Poison of another win. But this time, I kind of understand why they give it to Killer Queen. Poopy Poison was good too, but Killer Queen this episode was truly her episode. It just seems like they're going to continue overshadowing Poopy Poison each episode because she gets so close to the win and boom, they take it right back away from her. And then they get back to the stage and Killer Queen ends up winning the challenge, and I was so happy for her because she's such a sweetheart and she definitely showed a huge side to her this episode, and I'm very proud that the judges got to see that in her. So Poopy Poison, you almost had it, but maybe next time. One by one, Supreme starts calling all the queens safe, and Hugasio ends up being one half of the bottom two, and Carmen ends up being in the bottom three. And Carmen says too that, yeah, funny is not my thing. And it's unfortunate because Carmen, come on now, you started off so good, and you're kind of just fading in the background now because all these queens are really coming guns blazing. And Arantxa ends up being the second one to be in the bottom two. And finally, I agree with the judges' decisions this time because as much as I'm a big fan of Hugasio's drag and Hugasio themselves, yeah, they deserve to be in the bottom two because Mona Lisa was not Mona Lisa-ing. And Arantxa, yeah, I don't know what that was either. So the song is Pussy by Bad Guy. And as soon as the song started playing, I was thinking, oh my, I think Arantxa might have this. But then again, I don't know how Hugasio lip syncs either. And Hugasio impressed me so much. I was literally screaming at my screen like, yes, because Hugasio was that damn good. I mean, the song had such a good rhythm to it, and Hugasio was just dancing so well on beat and everything. And Arantxa wasn't given anything, which I was surprised because I thought that they had a little bit more oomph to it, but maybe the competition just kind of beat them down and they just didn't want to compete anymore and just kind of was like, okay, I'll call it quits because I thought they had more to bring. with this lip sync. I mean, at least put up a fight with Hugacia, but Hugacia wiped the floor with Arancha. Hugacia was just giving me everything that I wanted in a reggaeton concert. I just did not expect Hugacia to have all those moves and to be grinding and winding to the music and everything. Hugacia, you killed that bitch. Like, you did so good. I was so impressed with that. The song was catchy. I definitely need to listen to this much more. They need to play this at some party. And Hugacia ends up winning and staying, and Arancha, unfortunately, ends up leaving the competition. Whew, but hopefully we don't see Hugacia in the bottom 2 again, because I was nervous. I'm like, oh my god, I know with the terrible eliminations y'all been doing each episode so far, I would not be surprised if y'all kept Arancha over Hugacia. But luckily, they made the right decision, and Arancha left. And I hope we get to see more of Arancha later on in some type of All-Stars or something, because I really do think, just like Inti, if you come back with a little bit more oomph, if you just fix the little issues that you have within yourself and your drag, maybe you'll come back even stronger. And it seems like next week is gonna be chaotic too, between Dovima and Hugacia, and they get into it. So I wonder if that's just the shady editing that makes it look like there's gonna be drama, or is there actually gonna be drama? But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. What did y'all think of this episode, y'all? I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I thought it was amazing. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it had jokes. The runways, we all love a ball, right? We love as many looks as they can get on the runway. The song for the lip sync was good. The lip sync in general was really good. It really shocked me. We got to see a whole different side of Hugacia on the runway and in the lip sync department. So now we know what they have to bring if they have to lip sync. Hopefully not. Again in the future. Again, y'all, let me know what y'all thought about the first ever Snatch game of Drag Race España. Let me know what y'all thought about the runway look. Let me know what y'all just thought about this episode in general. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Bye, y'all. Mwah.